Welcome to another amazing episode of the Jaden Show. I'm Jaden, Cornelious, your host. I've been away for a little bit just because I've been a bit of a holiday. I'm still on that holiday for a little bit longer, but I've decided to make Jaden shows while I'm away as well. That's how committed I am to your Sunday entertainment. I hope you've had a wonderful time since we last spoke. I'm going all the way to the United Kingdom today to meet a phenomenal singer. His name is Barratt Waugh. You're going to hear from him in a minute, but let's go and check him out. This is called A Time for Us. What an amazing voice. Let's go and check this man out. Actually, let's go for a quick commercial break. Hey guys, I wanted to take this opportunity to let you know about the Jaden Show commercial break starting now. This is amazing news because now every single week you have a couple of minutes to be able to advertise something you want to advertise. So if you have a business, if you have an event coming up, if you have a new album, art gallery, or anything you want to particularly advertise on a show, this is your chance to do it. March and April 2024, the advertisements are free, so please let me know. Get in touch to me on Jaden Cornelious at AOL.com. It will be wonderful to hear from you. If you are a charity or a charitable organization or a non-profit and you are advertising something with regards to that, then always your advertising is free. So let me know. You will need to send me between a 1 and 2 minute video around that time, if possible, something that you want to advertise, and I will fit it into this spot. Get on. I'll see you soon. Take care, bud. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go and meet this week's amazingly special guest, the amazing Barratt Waugh. Barratt Waugh, how amazing it is to see you, young man.
And you. It's been a long time.
It's been a bloody long time. How are you doing, lovely?
Fantastic, yeah. Very happy boy. Very happy boy.
Like this.
Yeah.
Celebrate this. So tell me.
I've honestly never been happier.
This is so nice.
Yeah.
Can you send a bit this way?
Yeah, for sure.
Bloody wonderful. That's
just to go round.
That's enough. That's enough. No more needed. I'm gonna have to put Bomber one. Heard happy and he jumped.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, it's raining here, so they're all you're probably gonna get different faces popping into the chat.
Oh, good. Excellent.
For those of you who don't know you, you are a countertenor, singer, songwriter, talent extreme. How did it all start for Mini Barratt?
So I was singing from about 7 and all the way through school and what have you.
So for the last 20 years then?
Gosh, 37 years.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll be 45 in August.
You're an old baby boy, but I'm still older.
Oh, bless you. So when I was 17, I went and auditioned for Michael Barrymore's My Kind of People. Do you remember that one?
I do remember that.
Where they set up a stage in shopping centres, and then people would get up and do their thing, and Michael would come along and make it funny, I suppose. But I did that, and I came off stage, and Michael and Cheryl, his wife at the time, who's also his manager, blocked my path because they wanted to speak to me. And from that day, Cheryl became my manager, and I did my first professional performance was supporting Michael at he was doing a theatre show, but it's like own material. And so I was his warm-up act, which was amazing. And then from there, Cheryl got me signed to Cliff Richard's production label.
Oh, how amazing!
So unbelievable. I mean, I still don't really know how it all happened. Excuse me. And so then what happened is we just did a bunch of demos, and then Cliff asked me to join him at the Royal Albert Hall for 40 nights. And while I was supporting him there, they were invited. I didn't even realise, but they were inviting record labels.
Sweet.
And so I got signed to Warner Classics. And from there, we recorded an album, and Cliff did all the backing vocals with 2 of his backing vocalists, which was incredible. I mean, I've never experienced anything like it. I mean, I remember being sat in...
I've got butterflies listening to your story. Cliff Richard.
Sorry?
I said, just even talking about Cliff Richard, I got butterflies just listening to your story, dude.
Yeah, oh, bless you. No, but I can remember being sat in the studio watching this guy twiddle knobs and do whatever he was doing. And then looking through this small glass window, and I could see 40 musicians all playing the backing tracks to the songs I was recording. It was like, I've never experienced anything like it, and may never again. But yeah, so we recorded that album, and then they actually released it in 8 countries, which is mind blowing, really. I mean, I was traveling to all these. I went to Japan for 2 weeks to promote. I was in France all the time, Germany, Spain. I mean, I was everywhere. And then I went over to the US to promote it there, and that was amazing. And they did sell some numbers, but unfortunately what happened is that Warner Classics International went bust.
No.
Yeah. So it was such a shame.
You just got dropped.
Well, there was no label.
Shit.
So everybody lost everything because there wasn't a label to run it. They did resurrect many weeks later, but all the staff had been fired. Yeah. Everyone was replaced. And so there was no one running my project. So that was the end of it. So it was a real shame, and it was devastating.
I can imagine, mate.
But actually, at the same time, I found myself in hospital with an abscess on the brain that burst. And then I ended up with meningitis. So I was on death's door for weeks. But it took 2 months to get me out of hospital because I was that ill. And then it took quite a long time for me to fully recover. And actually, I still haven't fully recovered because my memory's really affected. My hearing's really affected. But I'm still here. So, I feel so blessed.
Could you imagine if that happened in the middle of like a show or?
Yeah. I mean, it could have done. It really could have done.
And the stress, even though he was having fun, the stress of putting on shows nightly and stuff like that, it could have been a way worse as well, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So then a year later, no, it wasn't. 2 years later, me and my dad set up an independent record label.
Really?
And we got some private investors, and we put out another album. I mean, and we had a TV advert, and Cliff did the voiceover for it. Yeah, but our budget was so limited. It was really just to get me back, performing and recording and writing. And we sold some records. It was great. I've still got fans today that message me and talk about that album, which is fantastic. But yeah, so, and then I really was just kind of performing on the circuit for a long time. Then I took some time away from it because I kept finding myself in really difficult, dangerous situations.
In what way?
Well, I was out in London 4 nights a week, either performing or networking.
Yeah.
And I'm quite naive, let's say. And it turns out that it's because I'm autistic.
Okay.
But at the time, people around me just thought, how can he be so stupid? How does he not see these things coming? But several times I was drugged whilst networking.
Wow.
And if you want me to tell you, I will. But sexually assaulted.
Wow.
Which, of course, when that happened, I really struggled with my mental health. And then it was a bit of a downward spiral. So I ended up having a breakdown.
Shit.
You didn't ask for all of this, did you? You just said, where did it start?
No, but bring it. I just...
Yeah, so... But what people don't realise is that, I mean, all industries, they've got their dark sides, haven't they?
Mm.
And I had no idea. But people, you know, people were preying on me, quite literally. And that really damaged me. So I just took a lot of time out and just did other things. And then I ended up...
Kind of left the whole music thing altogether. That was it.
Yeah, I left it for a while because it was dangerous for me because I'm too naive, and with the autism, that I only found out that I was autistic 5 years ago because I'd run out of all options as to what is it with me that, you know, certain things I just can't do. And I'm watching other people doing it, and I just can't. So anyway, I was diagnosed, and it turns out that all these stupid mistakes I was making is, you know, an autistic trait is to be oblivious in some things.
Yeah. I'm on the spectrum.
So I had to take some time out.
I found out a few years ago, and so for me, naivety, I still say stupidity. For me, transitions and stuff were desperately hard. Like, would really have to be almost bullshitted into doing something, so the transition was easier rather than just me doing something. So yes, played constantly. Reality freaks the shit out of me, but also I can't deal with it either. So
right.
So yeah, I 100% know what it's to kind of have that stuff where I think, oh my God, like, why am I not seeing these things? Like, how can I be so affected when no one else is affected by this, or no one's affected in this?
Absolutely.
And it's because I've been, obviously, even as a kid, looking back now, speaking to my mother, she said, we just thought you were bloody awkward and a pain in the arse.
So what is it that you have?
I'm just on the autistic spectrum as well.
Right.
Social phobias, all this kind of stuff. Can't deal with transitions.
Wow.
Yeah, there was just...
And I understand all of that.
Yeah.
I understand all of it.
Yeah.
But what it does is, because life is... It's as if life is set up for everybody else to be able to operate in it. But there's a cruel joke. And no one's giving you the passwords.
Yeah. So you decided, basically, because obviously you found out the dark side of the force, that you decided to give music and its whole industry a bit of a break for a while then.
So I just came away from it.
So what did you do?
Together. What did I do?
Yeah.
Nothing for a little while. And then I just decided, well, I've got to do something. So I went into other things. So I went into hospitality. I went into a bit of retail, but hated it. But I love people. So I needed to just be around people. So hospitality was great.
Yeah.
And I ended up being an assistant hotel manager for a little while, which I loved. But there was just something missing the whole time. And I was filling up my life with things to try and
fill that gap.
Yeah. So at one point I had 19 dogs.
Wow. Been better than me, mate.
Well, and then I had about 40 budgies. This is also an autistic thing. If you like something, one isn't enough. You have to have as many as you can get. So I ended up filling my life with animals because there was something missing, and I figured it out. I was missing music, so that's what So I went back to it. So so that's what I'm doing now.
So what's going on now for you? What's happening at the moment for you?
Well, I'm gigging a lot, which I'm loving. I've started writing again, which I've not done for a long time, but it's scary going back into writing because it means that you've really got to face. You've got to face yourself. Yeah. You've got to write down how you're feeling.
But it's kind of good therapy.
And that's just, when you've not done that for a while, it's quite scary.
Oh no, completely.
Fantastic therapy.
And I guess it's
fantastic.
scary as well because when you perform that, that is you at your most raw and vulnerable. So anyone judges you on that song.
You're so vulnerable. Yeah, for sure. No, I completely get it. But actually, funnily enough, a good few years ago now, I actually did write and record an album. I think it's got 3 or 4 covers on it, which kind of set the tone for the theme of the album, which is kind of stylistics, temptations, that kind of thing.
Nice. Okay.
And then I wrote and co-wrote the rest. And I never did anything with it because I'd lost all my confidence. So what I'm planning to do, hopefully in the next couple of months, is to release it online and just see what people think. So, so that's going to be a scary one.
That'll be amazing.
But I am going to do it. I am going to do it.
Yeah, you've said it now on pre-recorded TV.
I have.
And please make a note in the back of your diaries that it was said today.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's amazing. And how does it feel? I mean, scary bit aside of the actual, the vulnerability of being back in music because it's something you've written, something you've done a while ago. How does it feel being back? Is it tarnished with the shit that happened before? Or is it something, for me, I mean, because I've been through crappy experience as well with labels and producers and magazine editors and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
For me, the need to sing, which I've not always enjoyed, but I can't not do it. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's who I am. And even when I've avoided it and tried to escape from it, it kind of keeps biting at the bloody ankle. But that need to be who I am almost always overshadowed that dark part that followed me.
Yeah.
Is that the same for you, or does it take you back to trauma, or does
we've done this, funnily enough.
Where you feel the most like Barrat?
Because I now know who I am, having been diagnosed and everything else, and how I've managed to recover from all these horrible things. I'm so much more comfortable with performing, with people. So going back into it feels like I'm doing it for the first time.
Wow,
because I'm looking at it through different eyes. So it's actually really exciting because I feel like I'm doing everything for the first time.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
So
and I'm so thankful that I feel that way.
And it means I can do it. And you're still young and pretty enough to pull it off, dude.
Oh. Well, you are very kind
to do it now and not in 24 years' time. This is what I'm like. I have to do everything. But so, what would you say so far has been? I mean, how can you put just one pinnacle of your career when you've worked with Cliffy and Michael Barrymore, who I've met a few times as well? And
he's the best. He's lovely.
Such a bloody lovely man. Lovely
He's the best. He's just a thoroughly lovely human being.
Yeah, he really is.
He's a good person.
And and Cliff, oh my God. I kind of knew a little bit Olivia Newton-John. So me and Olivia, we kind of exchanged, she was my muse. So we kind of exchanged messages and kind of was it WhatsApps? No, it was probably SMS actually and stuff like that. So so Cliff was obviously like, oh my God, I just want to sing with Cliff when I grow old as well. A bit late now because I'm old.
Yeah.
Oh,
please.
And that was amazing. So these must be all incredible pinnacles. And excluding the Jaden show, what would you say has been the best part of your career today?
Do you mean what do I think has been the highlight, or my most favourite thing I've done?
Well, kind of a bit of both, really. Like where you just stood back and thought, "My God, look what I've just done," or "Look what I'm doing," or
there was one night, and it wasn't kind of. I'll talk about two different things. There was one night, and I was supporting Lulu in Brighton. She was doing a few gigs down in Brighton at their theatre, and gosh, I remember it so clearly. And I met her beforehand, and I went on stage and performed, but I don't know what happened to my body, but I've never sung so well in my entire life. And I remember singing, thinking, this doesn't even feel like me. How is it all just doing exactly what I want it to, and sounding better than I ever have? And my dad and my uncle were there in the wings with their jaws dropped, because they've never heard me sing like that. It was like an angel had come down and taken over me. And what I didn't, and so obviously the reaction was amazing, and I was quite emotional. And what I didn't realise is that Lulu had been watching me from a dressing room on a TV. And as I came off stage, there was a gentleman stood there, and he said, "Lulu would like to see you." I was like, "Oh my goodness, what have I done wrong?" Anyway, he took me to her dressing room, and she just wanted me to go and see her, just so she could tell me that how good she thought I was.
Oh, mate.
So for me, that would be my favourite thing that ever happened. But then if we're talking, I mean, huge things I've done, and then after the event, you can't quite believe that you did it. Like you're saying, I did the National Indoor Arena, and I don't even know how many thousands of people were there. And that was with Cliff. I went over to America, and I performed over there on QVC, you know, the shopping channel.
Yeah.
Well, they have artists go and perform on there.
Oh, okay.
And so they invited me to go over. And this was when the album was out, the first one. And they had me on singing. And all these people just started phoning in. Talking to the host, just complimenting me.
Amazing.
Which was lovely. But I was only on there for 10 minutes. And just from that 10 minutes, I became the fastest selling debut artist since the channel started.
Oh.
So for me, I just couldn't believe that. And then I ended up with a number 14 in the Billboard Club Play chart in America, which again, couldn't believe that could happen. And when I was in Australia touring, which was about 10 years ago, I think, Warner's put my album out there because they'd never done that. They'd never put it out there. And I got a number 1 for 1 week. Wow. And I was so happy. And then, because that's all my dreams have come true, isn't it?
Life just gets better. And today you're on the Jaden show. Life just keeps improving.
Wow. But yeah, so at that point, all of my dreams had come true, and all that was missing was somebody to spend my life with.
Yeah,
and now I have that. I live in a beautiful part of the world, which I can't believe. I've got amazing friends that growing up I never had.
Yeah,
I had no friends growing up, nobody.
Yeah,
but I lived in a mining town, and you know, I was quite obviously going to grow up to be gay, and I didn't even realise, but apparently everyone else did. It was shining out of me. So yeah, so I've gone from actually always having had a really tough life, but kind of trying to survive it with a smile on my face, to actually being so happy that I feel like it must be a mistake, because how can I be this happy?
Oh, dude. Because you're talented, and because you're a lovely dude.
Oh, thank you. You'll make me cry.
Enjoy it. No, I know. Yeah. It's really weird. I mean, apart from like the height of your career, I was never that blessed to get as far as you did. But it's quite interesting. When I was first in the band, because I was shy and dealing with my weird autism shit, if there was someone on TV that I liked, I couldn't go into the room when they were on TV because I couldn't let them see me because I could see them. I don't know how to explain it. So when Lulu was the Triple Meal at One special guest every day of the week, I had to watch her through the crack in the door because I loved her so much, but I couldn't go into the room when she was singing because I was
Wow.
so shy, like the shyest thing in the world. And then when I started becoming famous in my pop group in the 90s, I recorded one of her songs that she'd written called Hearts on Fire. And I was doing a warehouse gig in the East End, and the door went, and I ran downstairs, and this feisty little woman was like, Scottish accent, was like, had knocked on the door, and she was coming in to see the show.
You're breaking up a bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you still hear me now?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay. So it was Lulu at the door, and she'd obviously come to hear how we would sing her song. So she came up, and apparently the story that I heard, she was super lovely with me. So I had sung her song, and then she just walked out, and I was like, oh my God, I have waited. Like, I couldn't believe that I'm singing in front of Lulu, who was one of my idols from my whole life. And she got up and walked out. And then about 5 minutes later, she just came back in and sat down and stayed for a lot more of the show. She was with her son and a singer called Kavanagh at the time as well. And
oh yeah, I know Cav.
Yeah, and it was just really bizarre. Apparently, she'd gone back down to her taxi that was waiting. She was going to stay for 3 minutes and then bugger off, and told him to pull up and come and have a listen to this boy sing. That's what I heard.
Wow.
And, I was in too much of a state of shock.
That's amazing.
So that was really cool. So I got to record. We had severely bad management that kind of screwed out our chances. But it was really amazing to record a song that Lulu had written, and working with and Billy Laurie, her brother, and stuff like that. That was super cool. So so we've had a very similar crossovers.
Yeah, we've had some very similar experiences, haven't we?
Mr. W, then the future is we need to do a duet.
Oh, I'd love it.
I'd
love it. Well, maybe I'll have to
share the brandy and moniker of the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
I'd love it.
We're on. Okay, so keep that in mind. So what does apart from obviously doing a collaboration with Jaden Cornelious, what does it hold for Mr. W at the moment?
Well, married life. I'll be putting this album out this year. I don't know what else, because good things are happening. So
just go with the flow.
I picked up a new agent earlier this year, which I didn't expect, and I picked up another one last night. So I know. So I don't. I just say, I can just go in any direction, and wherever it takes, I'll be delighted. But I'll definitely be. It will all be music focused for sure. Amazing. Oh, and forgot to tell you this. My husband, before we were married, he used to go to Zante all the time in Greece, and so he took me, and I fell in love with it. And before we know it, we've got all these friends that live there, some expats, some Greek, and we usually go 5 or 6 times a year, but we haven't this year yet. And we just go on like cheap trips, go there for 4 days, and you get it at, £8 or something, diddly squat. Yeah. But now we're going to buy a house there. So that's exciting too.
Super.
And I'll be able to perform there, and so. Amazing.
Well, you better come on this bloody show again then at some point.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. But I want to come over.
It's about 20 years to catch up.
Yeah, well, I know.
We should do it a little bit sooner now.
Yeah, I think we should.
Amazing. Where can people find you on social media?
Oh, yes. They can find me on Facebook under Barratt Waugh, W-A-U-G-H, or Barratt Hardcastle -Waugh, which is my married name. They can find me on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. But there's loads of other stuff on YouTube that other people have uploaded. My music is available on iTunes and Spotify and a load of other platforms. And yeah, just Google. And I'm always about. Oh, and Instagram and TikTok. But I don't know how to use any of those, so my husband does it all.
Really? See,
yeah, he does all of it. I'm useless.
It does pay to have that bit of support.
It does. You know, and I would be nowhere without
lovely. When I was Googling you today, obviously we've been in touch on social media for well over a decade. I've nearly been here for 10 well over a decade. And it was really wonderful seeing a post by your husband saying something about my incredibly beautiful and talented husband.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the good bit, man.
Yeah. He is. He's just the best. He is. He's just the best.
Super cool, mate. Well, long may you continue. Long may you both reign, and long may you both plummet forward in a crazy fashion to more. Well, you're an amazing singer.
Thank you so much.
An amazing singer and just a super cool guy. And I so know how you feel about so many of those things, dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, living the same life. So I hear you.
Yeah.
Barratt Waugh, thank you so much for being part of the Jaden.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kids at home, you're in love with him. Go and find him. Go and show brother. Before you finished your cheese and Branston sandwich and your cup of tea, go and find him on all of his social media platforms and go and share and love and like and comment and retweet and everything you can possibly do with his music platforms as well. Barratt, we are in contact. I'm seeing it'll be like Barbara and what's her face? Oh my God, what's my head going on?
Barbra Streisand, Barbara Dixon.
But what it could be even Elaine Page and Barbara Dixon, or Barbra Streisand and I was going to say Donna Summer, but that's not kind of working.
Celine Dion.
Maybe, but I'm thinking of like a real hardcore duet in the future. Maybe I've seen Barbra Streisand and Judy Garland. Could be that.
Oh, all right.
Anything.
I'll garland it up.
Barratt, thank you so much, man. Biggest
thank you.
We are in contact.
This has been amazing. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for sharing my afternoon. And we will catch up again very soon. What a super wonderful guy. I hope you have enjoyed this show as much as I have enjoyed making it. You're going to hear more from Barratt in the future as well. Please go and check him out on all of his social media profiles, on all of his music download and streaming platforms as well. Go and check a brother out and go and show him some love. While you're there, you can come and see me and see what I'm doing all over my social media presence as well. I'm going to leave you with another song by Barratt. This is called I Love You, Goodbye. See you next week on The Jaden Show. Take care, you. Bye-bye.
Wish I could be the one who could give you love, the kind of love you really need. Wish I could say to you that I'll always stay with you, but baby, that's not me. You need someone willing to give their heart and soul to you. Promise you forever, baby, that's something I can do. Oh, I could say that I'll be all you need, but that would be a lie. I know I'd only hurt you, I know I'd only make you cry. I'm not the one you needed. I love you, goodbye. I hope someday you can find some way to understand. I'm only doing this for you. I don't really wanna go, but deep in my heart I know this is the kindest thing to do. And you find someone who'll be the one that I could never be, who'll give you something better than the love you find with me. Oh, I could say that I'll be all you need, but that would be a crime. anyone as much as I love you. Oh, I don't wanna leave you. Baby, it tears me up inside that I'll never be the one you needed. I love you. Goodbye. Baby, it's never gonna work out. I love you. Goodbye.